Hello, everyone, and welcome back to W.T.F. LA. Well, way to show me up. My name is Rachel.
My name is Kaja. We're happy to be here, and we're happy that you are happy to be here.
You've got to be happy to be here.
I mean, you must, because you keep coming back.
Yeah.
So this is episode 3, so
you're
invested.
You're in for the long haul.
Yeah, which we are in for the long haul. So
yes.
We're into you being in for the long haul.
So welcome to this relationship.
Anywho, math, right?
Meh.
So, what are we talking about today?
Today, let's talk about trips.
Let's talk about trips.
I just went to Europe.
You did just go to Europe.
For a whole month.
Yep.
Solo trip.
And she went in September, and it is January.
Yeah.
And I haven't heard anything.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, me being a piece of shit friend or whatever the reason is.
I just think that we just talk about so many other things.
I know, we don't have
time.
time.
Yeah.
We just talk about too much shit.
And,
we don't have time for
and we talk about this podcast a lot. Like,
we do.
Planning and logistics, like everything. That
Except
just
yesterday we didn't talk at all.
I know.
And that hurt my heart. I was like, I literally spent all day and then I went to work. And after work, I was on my way home and I texted Rachel and I was like, we didn't talk at all today. Like, I'm not happy.
And I didn't even get the text until I woke up the next morning and I was like, oopsies.
Yeah, so misery at its finest. Okay, never mind.
Huh.
Can't talk. So I haven't heard any of these stories.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm very interested to know what happened in this big quest.
I went to 9 different major cities.
That's crazy.
Let's start this European adventure story off.
Also, we have smoothies, so be gel. Okay.
Yeah. Whole Foods.
Yeah, thanks, Whole Foods. Thanks for making us spend $600 on one smoothie.
You didn't spend any money.
I didn't spend anything,
We didn't spend any money.
Rachel's sister bought us for them, so
yeah.
thanks to you. What did I just
Bought
say?
us for them.
Okay, I'm gonna have issues.
Goodbye, Kaja.
Yeah, really.
Welcome to the Rachel Show.
Yeah, this is where Rachel takes over.
And it really is. So,
Yep.
European adventure.
How much did you spend in total,
Okay.
if you don't mind me asking, which you don't, because I'm asking anyway.
My total European trip expenses, flights. I took flights almost everywhere to everywhere.
You didn't take any trains or anything?
Once
From where
I
to
took
where?
a train and I really fucking regretted it.
Why?
So I took a train from Edinburgh.
Edinburgh? Is this in England?
What's the word?
Scotland?
Scotland.
I think Edinburgh is in England. I'll Google it.
Edinburgh.
Edinburgh? Are you sure?
So
Okay, I will Google it.
I took a train from Edinburgh to London, and I was like, they're right there. This is gonna be good. And then as I was sitting on the train, like, we're already moving, I was like, I'm gonna look up flights just to see how much I saved. And I ended up spending 75 euros more.
Yeah.
And then I was
I knew that, actually.
And then
Trains
I was
are more
like,
expensive.
I was like, no, because I would have had to buy, like, a subway ticket and, like, had to figure out the train from all the way from Gatwick all the way up.
Where were you trying to go?
To London.
Oh, to London.
And I was like,
I don't know where Gatwick is.
Did I, though? So I just don't like to think about it. I definitely spent...
But wasn't it beautiful? I took the train from Paris to London. It was gorgeous. It goes underwater.
I looked into that and it was
scary.
a lot more expensive.
Yeah, it
than
is
a flight.
very expensive.
So I was like, not doing that.
Yeah, it's expensive, but it's really, so beautiful. And
But
it's
if I would have taken the train from Vienna, Austria, to Munich, Germany, I would have saved money. But I didn't do it because I didn't realize how close they were.
Whoops.
Oopsies.
So how much did you spend?
Around how much I spent was $2,500 for the month. Food, planes,
really? That's
hostels, everything. Yeah.
That's not bad.
And then plus all my bills that I had in LA because life doesn't stop just because you're on vacation.
Which is unfair, by the way. Like, fuck you.
You should be able to, like, put a pause on, like, everything.
Excuse me, I'm not here, so don't charge me.
Yeah, but
not the case.
That's not true. Yeah.
Okay, so you went on this month-long trip.
Yeah.
And how many hostels did you say? And you were in 9 cities, so you say 9 hostels.
10. Because I was in London twice.
Oh.
To leave
How
and
was
come
that?
back.
I don't think I could ever stay in a hostel. Not to be a fucking bratty little bitch, but like, God.
Well, okay, so some of my hostels, it was just like me and one other person in a room. So I was like, not bad.
Not that bad.
Yeah, not bad
still,
at all.
Like, I don't know you.
And then...
What if they snore?
Well, I have narcolepsy, so I'm out. Anyways, what if I snore?
No, you don't. No, you're such a good, like, sleeper next to.
Oh.
Yeah, you don't move.
You just die, and then you wake up in the morning.
It's great. And then you have a lovely alarm that, at least you used to, that
I still
animal
do.
sounds.
Yeah.
Forest sounds.
I wake up to the sounds of birds chirping because I like to wake up like a Disney princess, and it calmly wakes you up, so you're not like startled awake. I hate waking up. That's with a heart attack.
Yeah, mine's like. Yeah.
No, I can't do that. I need to like be like,
I'm awake.
Oh, all the birds like bringing me over in my outfit that I'm going to wear for the day.
They do that.
Yeah.
It's actually sugar.
Yes. So, no, I really didn't mind it. One of the hostels that I stayed in, though, a girl that was in my room when I first got there, like, I was putting my bags away and everything, and she was putting hers away, and I was like, oh, where are you from? Trying to, like, be nice.
Yeah.
And a guy came into the room, because it was, like, a co-ed room, and then she, like, turns to me, and she goes, oh, where are you from? And I go, Los Angeles, California. And then she goes, oh, and turns to him, and then, like, says something in Spanish, and then goes, oh, Los Angeles. And I was like, okay, bitch.
You're talking about me? Stop.
Got it. And then she turns to me again and goes, like, oh, how long are you here for? And I was like, oh, 3 days. What about you? And she goes, oh, me too, 3. And then she turns to him, and she goes, oh, 3 días. Or whatever. And I was like, bitch, like I may not know Spanish.
Yeah.
Clearly. I don't know Spanish.
Yeah.
But
I'm not an idiot.
I can, like, hear.
Right.
Like, the context words. Like, you're talking about me.
Yeah.
So then she does this a couple times, and he's not saying anything directly to me.
Yeah.
And she's not really answering anything back. She's just asking me questions and then reporting to him.
What the fuck?
And I was like, so then I go, I know you're talking about me, and I'm not going to sit here and be your entertainment of your conversation. And she goes, no, we're not talking about you. And I go, yes, you are. And I got up and I left.
Oh, I love it.
And I was like...
Did you leave your shit there?
Well, okay, so under a lot of the beds, or there was like lockers where you'd put your stuff in and you'd lock it.
Oh, okay.
Or under the beds, there were like these cages that would roll out and you put your things in and then you lock it.
Oh,
like,
okay, good.
You don't just leave your shit.
I don't trust a bitch that now has been talking shit about me that I also just called out for talking shit about me.
Yeah, no. In that one, there was lockers, so she couldn't even like pee into my cage.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
But, yeah, so that was awful. When I was in Athens, my flight got in so late, and I didn't get to my hostel until it was 2 o'clock in the morning.
Oh,
and I, like, emailed them. I booked it for that day, because you have to, like, book it that day, or else I would have to wait until the next day to check in, and I was not going to do that. So I was like, okay, and I, like, emailed them, let them know, like, I'm not getting in until 2 a.m., hope that's okay, and they're like, yeah, that's fine, there's somebody at the desk the whole night, you're good. So I check in, they're like, okay, this is your bed, like, blah, 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 and on that day that I was booking it, it asks you, like, oh, do you want top bunk or bottom bunk? And some of the hostels don't ask you. But this one did. And I was like, bottom bunk.
Yeah.
Because I learned top bunk is awful.
Yep.
Every time you have to pee in the middle of the night, you have to worry about, like, climbing up, climbing down.
Yeah,
Anytime you, like, crawl into bed and then you're like, I forgot my cell phone charger.
Why would anyone be like, you know what I want to do in the middle of the night? Cardio. Let me climb a fucking stair, right?
Yeah. So I was like, definitely bottom bunk, like, this is what I want to book. And I think it was like €1 more a night to have bottom bunk. And I was like,
fine.
I'm going to splurge.
Yeah, really.
To really treat myself. So I was like, okay, perfect, checked in, got into my room, and there's somebody sleeping in my bed. And I go, oh, hell no.
Yeah.
Like,
no.
It is 2 o'clock in the morning. All I want is to crawl in my fucking bed.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, no. This is not happening. Mm-mm. So I poke them, and I go, hi, you're in my bed. And it's this old lady.
Oh,
like,
no.
Somewhere like 40s, 50s old.
Oh, okay. Not old.
Not old.
Okay.
But, like, old enough that,
She's
like,
old,
get the fuck out of my bed.
Yeah.
So I'm like, hi, And she goes, yeah. And I go, you're in my bed. And she goes, so? Sleep in that bed. And I go, no.
Nope.
And she goes, well, you weren't here. And I was like, so?
Doesn't matter. I paid for it. This is my bed.
That's still my bed.
Yeah.
And she goes, ugh, and like pulled this chair over to the wall when there's like a ladder on the bed, but I think she was just being dramatic.
Yeah.
Instead of just climbing up a ladder.
That's me. I'm so passive aggressive.
So she like pulls this chair over, like gets on the chair, like goes up, and then like lays in those sheets. And I go downstairs and I go, hi, there was somebody in my bed, so I need clean sheets and I'm not paying for them.
Nope.
And they go, oh, okay, do you want us to like go up there and like talk to them? And I go, no, I'm traveling by myself. I handled it myself.
Yeah.
I'm like, you can't travel alone and not know how to stand up for yourself. And they go,
damn.
Okay. So then I go to bed, blah,
That's
blah,
not me.
everything's fine.
I'm a little pussy. I would just be like, okay, I guess I'm gonna sleep on the floor. Yeah.
So then the next morning I wake up and I ask the desk person, the front desk person, brand new person, and I was like, hi, like, where's like a good place to like start in Athens? Like, what are the go-to spots?
Right.
Like, let me know, And he was talking to me and then he stops and he was like, wait, are you the American in this room? And I was like, yeah. And he goes, oh, there was a lady this morning like yelling about this cunt American girl that she had to deal with.
Where was the woman from?
Ireland.
Oh, okay.
And I was
funny.
like, that's me. I'm the cunt.
That is me.
And I was like,
wow,
kind of proud of myself.
Anyway, I'd be proud of myself if I was the American cunt.
Yeah. Like, not the worst thing to be called, right?
No, definitely not.
But, okay, so my list of places that I went. Yeah. I went London, Paris, Barcelona, Rome, Athens, Vienna, Munich, Dublin, Edinburgh, back to London, back to LA.
Wow.
Yeah.
Nope.
So I was all over.
I've been to London, Paris, and Tokyo. Ooh. That's it.
Yeah, kind of super jelly of Tokyo.
Yeah, it was incredible. It really, and my best friend's brother lives in Tokyo too, so it was really cool to like actually know someone there, and so he took me to like, it was actually crazy. He took me to like this hole in the wall restaurant, and it's so, if you picture Tokyo, like, I don't know, to me it's like,
I picture it super like hustly bustly, but also like everybody in really, really bright colors.
No, not so much. It's not very, that's like Harajuku, but it's mostly people are dressed like in business attire, but everything is very small unless it's like a big like building, but all the apartments and everything is very small, and so he took me to this hole in the wall restaurant that was like literally people are like sitting, like so close to each other,
sardines,
yeah, literally, and with like just this crazy exotic fish menu, and I was kind of too scared to try anything, but like but it was just so cool like to be in the middle of that culture, and he had a couple of friends come too, which was super cool, like these two really lovely girls, except so the first thing that happened to me when I got to Tokyo, I forget whether I flew into or there's two airports, I forget which one I flew into, but I went to the bathroom when I first flew in. I don't know if you've ever seen or heard.
I heard that they're just holes in the ground.
Well, yeah. So they do have normal toilets, but so I walk into the bathroom and there's 3 stalls. The 2 outer stalls are taken, and then there's a middle stall. So I go to walk into the middle stall, and it was literally just... It's not just a hole in the ground. Like, there is something that looks like a toilet. It's just on the ground. And so I, like, looked at it, and there's, like, a line behind me, and I was like, you can go. Like, I was like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do here. Like,
I'm just going to pee my pants.
Ooh, okay. So then I waited, and when someone else came out, like, that was a normal toilet. And what's interesting is that the normal toilets are the best toilets in the world. They are so high-tech. They're all heated. They all, like, there's a button on them.
That would creep me out if it's, like, a public restroom and it's heated, I would think that
No,
somebody just shat.
But it's so
and
Tokyo
like warmed up the seat.
is the cleanest place I've ever been. There's no trash on the streets. There's no garbage cans on the street because you're not really supposed to have garbage. You're not allowed to smoke in Tokyo. Like you have designated smoking areas so that there's no garbage on the streets. It's so clean. So the toilets have like their heated seats. They have like douches. Which I didn't use. They also had that in Paris, but I didn't use it either.
Aren't they bidets?
What's a douche?
That's for your chotch.
Oh. Bidet, yeah.
Bidets for your beehole.
Oh, got it. And then also, which I thought was the coolest thing ever, they have like, it's like a noise maker. So like if you're pooping, then it has like really loud sounds.
Also, that's like you're like I am pooping.
I'd
loud
rather
noise.
have I am pooping than like you can hear me pooping.
Like you press a button and it says I am pooping.
Well, I turn the water on. And I listen to something on that because it's like very obvious that I am.
Yeah, I always, if I'm like at a friend's or I'm over somewhere, I'll put music on my phone.
Yeah.
So I'm like, hope this 90s pop.
Yeah. Hope this Britney Spears throws everyone off for the night that I'm shitting. Yeah. But I thought it was so cool. I thought it was so awesome. Just the toilets, obviously, are the coolest things in but this restaurant, this hole-in-the-wall restaurant, that was the only option. There was one tiny fucking bathroom, tiny, and it was just a hole in the ground. And I was like, I don't know how to... I think I peed. I can't remember, but...
I would have just taken my pants completely off, because I wouldn't want to, like, pee and then be like, well, I can't squat anymore, and then stand up and then have, like, pee on my pants.
Yeah.
So I would have just, like, gone completely, like, bottomless, and then I would have, like, squatted, like, sumo squat over it.
For those of you that are just listening to the audio, she's making a demonstration with her fingers, which I love. Okay, continue.
So I would have sumo squat over it and then just, like, peed down, you know?
Now, are we straddling?
Yeah.
Okay.
I would have...
Okay.
Instead of trying to, like...
I forget if I tried it or
squat
not.
back and, like, hold the walls.
Okay, yeah.
I would have
But imagine if that was, like, your daily life, where it's like, all right, gotta go pee-pee, and here's the ground.
I bet everybody has, like, buns of steel there.
You're right. Like, damn, I should start peeing on the ground.
That's why Americans are so fat.
True. What if you have to poop?
Don't.
That's
like one of my favorite things about...
Just thinking about how people poop?
Nope, not it. One of my favorite things about, like, working at an office is if I poop at work, I'm getting paid to poop.
Oh, love.
Yeah.
Well, I guess that's technically, like, anywhere you get paid to poop. If you poop at your job, then you're getting paid to poop.
Yeah.
But it's something about... You work on Rodeo Drive, so you're pooping in heaven.
Yeah, I'm pooping in the classiest.
The toilets at my bar freak me out. I try my very best to not have to use the bathroom ever. Yeah, no, I try not to pee. And when I do, I'm such a psycho. I just hate... I don't know. It's so gross to think that all of these people go in there and who knows what they're doing drugs and doing whatever the fuck in the bathroom.
When was the last time you saw somebody do drugs off of the toilet seat?
We have a table in the bathroom.
Yeah, that's where they do the drugs.
I know, but I don't know. They might have toilet on their ass. I mean, drugs on their ass. I don't know. But it freaks me out. I don't like to be in there, but I also don't like the fact that I have to share toilet paper with everyone. So I always bring a new roll of toilet paper when I'm forced to go to the bathroom there.
Forced.
Yeah, because I really try to avoid it. We have 6 bathrooms, and I'm still like, no.
That's a lot of bathrooms.
I know.
Well, wait, you're saying boy and girl?
Yeah, one of them is
unisex.
No. One of them is a boys, one of them is a girls, and then there's 2 co-ed, and then there's 2 in the back.
Okay, why don't you use those ones?
Because one of them in the back doesn't have a light, and also it's creepy, and then the other one is just so dirty, and they're gross. I don't even know how we got here. We're taking shits now.
we went from Europe to Japan
to taking shits. But anyway.
And on my trip,
I took this many shits.
I had a shit calendar with my shit tally.
Yep.
Shit diary.
Yeah. Kid you not, when I was in Europe, because I don't eat meat.
No.
And I really, really try to avoid dairy because I'm lactose
Be
intolerant.
lactose, so that's like the ultimate shit.
I am very lactose.
Yeah.
So, when I was in Europe, I was like, everything has cheese in it.
Fuck yeah, it does.
Everything.
Yeah, it's
And I was
fire.
like, well.
Yeah.
So half of my European trip, I spent pooping.
On the toilet. well, I see that's the thing though, is that when you go traveling, it's like you're bound to eat terribly and you're bound to like fuck up what's going on down there. When I was in Japan, every single morning we had like a buffet, a breakfast buffet at the hotel that we were at. And every single morning I had toast, like beans, like breakfast beans.
Oh, breakfast beans, of
course.
You
know the kind. And then I would have a chocolate croissant and hot chocolate. Every single morning.
Beans and chocolate.
Of course.
Yes.
And then in Paris, like gnarly, like American continental breakfast that was so good that like, by gnarly I just mean like I was eating like shit. Like, terribly. And, like, all the fucking crepes and every fucking latte came with a speculoos cookie, which was the best thing in the world. And I was eating, like, crazy. And then in England as well, like, there was one night where I ate, like, I don't know why in England I was like, pasta. But that's, like, so much pasta. So, yeah, so everything,
When I was planning to go to Europe, I'm not a coffee person, and I don't really like drink coffee. I like will if it's like
I drink decaf.
If it's like super social and everybody's getting it and I'm there, like I'll be like
coffees,
sure,
yeah.
and I'll get like something like frozen. I don't do hot coffee.
Really? Why?
I've burnt my tongue way too many
love
times.
hot coffee.
Learned my lesson. I'll just do
Just
a little.
wait.
I can't.
I'm impatient.
I have no self-control.
Okay.
So
Good.
I do like iced coffees, like little blendies.
I mean, no, I'm not really a blendy fan. I just drink a smoothie, but I'm not really a blendy fan.
I like the little ice blendies.
Okay.
But when I was like planning to go to Europe, I was like, I'm gonna be so European. I'm gonna like
Drink
in the
lattes.
mornings drink coffee
That's
or
how
something.
I was feeling in Europe too.
And I'm gonna
You have to.
I'm going to draw. And
Yeah.
I'm gonna be so creative.
All I wanted to do in Europe was smoke cigarettes. Did you feel like that too? It's like, ew, don't do that.
Don't
but like,
don't do it. But
yeah.
when I was in Paris, I was sitting at a cafe.
I was so tempted to in Paris.
And I was drawing, and everyone around me,
yes,
they were all
everyone
smoking,
in Paris
and I
smoking.
was like, and it was Fashion Week, and I was
Yep,
like,
mine too.
everybody is so fucking beautiful.
I know.
Like it was like
They actually make smoking look cool.
yeah. Like everybody was so beautiful, and like even like just like there was old men walking down the street, and I was like, sidewalk runway.
Yeah.
Right now.
No, for sure.
And I was like, oh my gosh, and I was like, like. I just want to smoke.
I know.
Like, I just want to, like...
The entire time I was like,
be,
I
like,
just want
so
to be at a
fresh.
cafe, smoking a cigarette, drinking coffee, and
Yeah.
just writing my book.
So wanted to.
Yeah.
But, okay, back to traveling things.
Back to shitting.
Yeah. Back to shitting.
Yeah.
But, so when you said when you went to Japan, you,
Yeah.
like, met up with a friend's brother of
Yeah,
yours.
yeah.
So when I went to Munich,
Okay.
I met up with a couple of friends from LA that were
Oh.
also out there for Oktoberfest.
Oh, cool.
And they were like, they told me ahead of time, we're going to be out.
Oktoberfest is like the beer fest, right?
Yes.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
That's super cool that you got to go to that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they were like, oh, we're going out there for Oktoberfest, these dates. And I was like, okay, well, I don't know where I'm going to be. And then as I, like, landed and I was traveling around, I was like, I should definitely just, like,
Yeah.
make a few, like, random stops. Like, I had no idea that I was going to go to Vienna.
Oh,
Like,
so cool.
And I was
So
just
did
like,
you plan, like, your flights while you were there?
Yes.
Oh, shit.
I, like, landed in Gatwick and then border customs, whatever.
Customs?
Yeah. They were like, how long are you staying? And I was like, I don't know. And they were like, what do you mean? And I was like, I don't know.
Oh, so you bought a one-way ticket?
No, round trip.
Oh.
But I was like, I don't know how
in
long I'm
Lo-
staying in
yeah,
London.
in
Yeah.
London. Okay,
And they
got
were
it,
like,
got
well, where are you going next? And I was like, I don't know, maybe Paris. And they were like, well, where are you staying here?
Yeah, I bet that freaked them out so much.
Yeah, they were like, where are you staying here? And I was like, I don't know, I figured I would, like, you know, go to a cafe, like, see what areas I like, and, like, pick something out. And they were like, no, you can't do that.
Yeah.
And they were like, well, how much money do you have? And I was like, oh, over 10,000.
Yeah.
And they were like, okay, so for starters,
Yeah.
book a room,
Yeah.
and then book your flight out.
Yeah.
And I was like, what?
How dare you?
I was like,
tell me what to do on my trip.
I was like, you're really putting a damper on my, like, free spirit
Yeah, really.
trip that I'm trying to have here.
Yeah, get out of here. Trying to discover myself here, people.
Trying to get lost.
Yeah.
You're making it really hard for me. So I, like, sat there and had, like, a mini panic attack because I didn't have any service on my phone in the airport.
No.
As I was trying to, like, figure out booking a room and a flight
Yeah.
and everything. And I was, like, waiting like I had dial-up on my phone. Everything was taking so long to load. And then the security guard, like, kept looking at me because I was all sketchy with, like, my bags, and I'm, like, sitting on the floor and, like, hyperventilating. And she probably thought that, like, I was trying to kill somebody. Like, I just looked very sketchy.
Yeah, so you decided to go to Munich?
Yeah, so I went to Munich, and I met up with my friends from LA, and I told my dad, like, I was like, I'm not going to drink at all in Europe because I'm by myself.
Which I loved. I thought that was very smart of you.
And, like, I'm like 110 pounds on, like, a fat day.
Wow. Can't say the same.
So, like, I could literally be picked up and kidnapped
Yep.
by somebody that has never seen the inside of a gym.
Yep.
So I was like, all right, I'm going to be responsible, not drink.
Smart.
But then when I was in Munich and I was hanging out with all my friends and we were at Oktoberfest, I was like,
I can drink here.
safe.
Yeah.
Because they had 2 friends with them. And we always stayed together. Like, even when one of us had to go to the bathroom, we would all be like, let's go to the bathroom, you know? So we, like, had one another. But it was, like, safer.
Yeah.
And Oktoberfest is, like, it's like a fairgrounds, but with beer. So in fairgrounds, you have, like, the different little, like, barns. Have you been to the fair? So you have different, like, barns that'll have, like, oh, this is, like, the 4-H craft barn. And then this is, like, the
I was
cows.
thinking it's like Coachella.
No.
No. Okay.
It's not like that. It literally looks like it's a fairground. So they're like barns.
I don't know what the fuck a fairground is. What is that?
Like a bunch of barns.
Oh, okay.
Like,
so
on
literal
this lot.
barns, not like tents or anything.
No, barns. Like permanent structures.
Oh, okay.
So then doors, like rafters, like the whole structure-y.
Okay.
So, and then you would just, like, go to a barn, and then the little hosts would help you find a seat somewhere.
Were there security and shit like that?
There's security at the front of the doors when you would go
If it was
in.
America, security, like, every fucking... But,
Yeah.
you know, Europe,
But
people don't need that.
They would just check your bags, but mostly I think they were checking your bags to make sure that you weren't stealing...
Bringing alcohol.
No.
Oh.
No, weren't stealing the big mugs.
Pints. Yeah.
Yeah, the mugs were like, those things were fucking intense.
Wow.
And one of my girlfriends tried to steal one. And then they were like, no.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Wow.
But, so much fun.
Yeah.
So much fun. Like, really glad that I got to drink, and really, really glad that I met up with friends, because
Totally.
I had, like, the worst time in Vienna. Like,
Why?
the absolute worst time. I had this man, when I was leaving from Athens to Vienna, I had a man at a train station get into an argument with me, a worker from the train station. He got into such a big argument with me that I started crying at 5 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, no.
As I'm trying to, like, get to my train. And then I get on the train, and then he's the person that, like, stamps your ticket.
Oh, great.
So then he comes back up to me and he goes, oh, are you all calmed down now? So then I start, like, arguing with him again, to the point where, like, I'm crying again.
Oh,
and then, like, he's just not going away, and I'm like, what? Is this how you get your rocks off? By making little girls cry? And then everybody on the train, like, stands up and, like, looks around, like, everybody starts looking out. Because before, they were very, like, polite European, minding their own business.
Yourself, yeah.
But then they were like, oh my gosh. And I was like, yelling this at him, and then he was like, what? No. And then he, like, walked off, and I was like, good, like, just leave me alone.
Yeah.
Like,
ugh, that's terrible.
Because he was, like, a grown adult man.
Like, why are you fucking
like, what do you get out of making me cry besides, like, that's how you get your rocks off?
Yeah, seriously.
So I was just like, you're a perv, leave me alone.
Yeah.
So Vienna was just, like, really awful.
And you didn't like Paris.
You know, I didn't mind Paris. I actually ended up meeting up with a friend of mine in Paris. In London, I met up with a girl that I went to college with. And then in Paris, I ran into a friend that I, like, met and hung out with a couple times.
Wow.
And then they messaged me and they were like, hey, you want to get dinner? And I was like, I'm in Paris. And they were like, me too. And I was like,
oh.
Yes.
Yes, I definitely want to.
I would, like, do whatever I want during the day. And then we would, like, get together and, like, get dinner and then, like, tell one another about our little adventures and everything that we went on. And I was like, this is great. You know, because I realized this when I traveled. I learned this about myself. I'm a very fast walker. So I don't want to, like, compromise walking slow and walking at your pace.
Right.
I want to see what I want to see, and I want to see it when I want to see it. You know? And the things that I'm interested in, other people really aren't.
Yeah.
Like, I love, like, the art museums.
Right,
And the
me too.
architecture.
Yeah, me too.
Like, love.
In Paris? Oh my god.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
But, like, I don't care about the clubs. I don't care about the bars.
Fuck no.
Like,
I don't care about any of that shit.
I don't want to do any of that. But, like, show me the, like, classic buildings.
Absolutely.
And, like,
the Louvre and all of that was.
And it's like, in Rome, all the sculptures and the fountains. Oh my gosh, Rome was my favorite.
Well, you know, I'm glad that I had someone to show me around in Paris and stuff, but I really wish that I had gone by myself. I had a terrible time just simply because of who I was with. But I, like, wish that I had been... the whole time I was there, I was like, I wish I was alone. Even though, like, I did really cool shit. Like, I went to in Paris, I was there for Fashion Week. Yeah. I got to go to the Louis Vuitton fashion show with Usher. Gosh. And I was sitting next to a bunch of fucking...
Story about Usher. He grabbed my butt once.
Did he?
Yeah.
He did not grab my butt because he was with his wife while we were with him.
He has a wife.
He does
Did not know that.
He has kids too, I think.
My sister and I worked on something, and he was also working on it, and then he took a picture with us after, and he put his arms around us.
Grabbed your little tush.
To take a picture, and he grabbed my butt. And I was like,
Excuse me, Ush.
I was like, you know what?
Hey, Ushy.
Super inappropriate, because we're at work, and you're, like, using your
status,
higher up, but also kind of a compliment.
Also, thank you, Usher, for grabbing my butt.
Yeah.
So, like, I did really fucking cool shit while I was in Paris. London, I didn't do, like, cool stuff. I just saw cool, you know, I saw the, Buckingham Palace, Buckingham. And, you know, Big Ben, and I saw, like, Big
Ben was under construction when I was there. But so was, around the Eiffel Tower, and so was...
Eiffel Tower I got to see, which was lovely.
Well,
2 years ago, actually, 2 years ago today, I was in London, and the last couple of days I was in Paris.
Did you go to the catacombs?
I don't know.
You would know. So it's all the dead people stacked up in the underground tunnels, where, like, the walls are made out of skeleton bones.
That's terrifying.
Like, it's like arms stacked up this way, and this is the wall.
I don't want to do that.
So it's just like...
I don't want to do that. Nope. I'm fine.
I wanted to go so bad, and they were, like, closed for a week when I went.
Yeah. No.
And I was like, I had, like, dreams of going.
Final question. Do you think you go back to those places?
So I think I want to do, like, a Southeast Asia trip for, like, a month and, like, bounce around like I did Europe. And then...
But do you want to go back to Europe?
I feel like there's so many other places to see before I go back.
Yeah, that's fair.
Go back eventually, but not...
But not anytime soon?
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Where's the next place that you would love to go?
My boyfriend is from Lithuania, so I would love to go to Lithuania. It's so pretty, and I would love to, obviously, like, meet his family and stuff like that. But my best friend ever... Sorry to everyone else who had to say best friend, too. No, I'll just say one of my best friends. Chrissy. She lives in England, and I actually met her our like 2-year anniversary. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've told you about her.
Yeah.
Our 2-year anniversary will be coming up within the next like 2 days or something like that. I met her we sat next to each other on the plane home from England.
Yeah.
And we spent literally
Chrissy Chanel.
And yes. I have a Chanel tattoo.
Yeah.
Or sorry, the Chanel symbol tattooed on me. Because of her, because that's how close we are. And then she, with her English accent, she kind of says like Katya. So then it was Chanel and Cartier. So she has the Cartier symbol on her. Yeah. And so we sat next to each other on the plane, and before the plane took off, she turned to me and she was like, with her cute little accent, like, can you open my water bottle? And I was like, sure. And then literally 10.5 hours straight talked about everything, told each other everything.
I would have hated to sit next to you.
My boyfriend at the time was sitting next to us, so
he could die.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yep. But literally, like, told each other everything about each other, and then
you're like, I hate my boyfriend.
I pretty much. Yeah. So spent the entire 10.5 hours talking, and then we got off the plane. And she was kind of like, oh, you should come to Disneyland with me. And I was like, yeah, for sure. Like, oh, no, Universal. And then, like, I was like, well, like, do you want to share an Uber? And, like, you know, I can drive you to your house. And she's like, yeah, sure. And then she ended up staying in LA for, like, 2 months. And we spent almost every single day together that she was here. I know. And we talk all the time. I mean,
she was like, I don't know what is in LA, but Kaja.
Yeah, but yeah, exactly. And we became super fucking close, and she's my sister, and obviously I have her fucking name tattooed on me. Yeah. And she just bought a house with her boyfriend, and I would love, love, love to be able to go visit her. Yeah. Cute. So either Lithuania or England or both, because they're like, it's like a 2-hour flight. Oh. Yeah, so.
I don't know where Lithuania is.
It's like, it's over there. I don't know.
I don't know.
It's near Poland, I think, or something.
Also don't know where Poland is.
On a map, I can point it out.
On a map, I can show you all the places that I have been.
Hey.
So I just need to go to more places, and then I'll learn.
I would love to go to more places, but I also am not good on planes. Anyway, we're rambling.
Trailing. Yeah.
Okay. Anything else?
Think that's all.
Perfect. Well, we'll see you next week. Next week is our Valentine's Day episode, so get ready for some lovey-dovey.
It's gonna be super cute. We're going to do some...
Fuck, marry, kill.
Yes.
Yep. So look forward to that next week. We post every Thursday. We appreciate you joining us.
Yes.
If you are interested, please join our Patreon. www.patreon.com/brutally. I almost just said /Kaja and Rachel. Nope.
/WTF LA.
Follow us on Instagram. Please subscribe to our YouTube if you're interested in following our video podcast. You want to say your Instagram? Instagram. Mm-hmm.
My Instagram is instagram.com/ Rachel Glugston, RACHELCLUGSTON.
And mine's Kaja Nelson, KAJANELSON. We'll see you next Thursday.
Love ya.
Love you.